Minecraft in its alpha stages was a very important period, one where development was progressing at a rapid rate and more people were playing than ever before. Because of all these new players and exciting weekly updates, this period is one which players remember fondly and cherish as the golden age of Minecraft, even if it only has about 10% of the features present in the game today. Because of this fondness for a version long in the past, I wanted to examine if this version can still hold up today, or if it's the nostalgia goggles blinding everyone from a featureless and boring version of Minecraft. Looking specifically at alpha version 1.1.2, the first thing to notice is that glowing green grass, an iconic staple of alpha Minecraft which, although unrealistically bright, may have a solid reason for being so. In current Minecraft, a lot of the textures and colours are darker and have less saturation, taking away from the wonder and discovery you should feel when playing it, as it's more similar to real life than a fantasy world to get lost in. In alpha, however, the bright nature of the grass and the popping colours of the flowers invoke that lost feeling of wonder, and make it feel more stylized instead of trying to replicate what you quite often see in the real world. After you build a little base, get your bearings and head into your first cave, the old lighting system, which usually is criticised everywhere else, gets to actually shine here, even if it might just be a mistake from the developer. Pure darkness everywhere actually makes it scary to traverse a cave system, unlike modern Minecraft where so much of them are either lit up by natural sources or just not that dark at all to the point where you don't even need torches to progress. Another benefit of the caves being darker is that you need these torches, so it forces the player to discover and learn how to craft them instead of skipping past all that progression and speedrunning upgrades. Although the new lighting system is much better in almost every way, traversing caves in alpha is just a much scarier and slower experience, which is what a lot of experienced players may miss about playing Minecraft nowadays. Another thing to mention which alpha does differently to newer versions is how it handles armor and durability. When you get attacked from the various monsters lurking in caves and the night, the durability on your armor will go down each time, which is expected if you've played any other version of the game. What is different, however, is that your armor rating will go down as well, depending on how much durability you have left. This is another great change, as it not only shows the player their durability on the hotbar, but it also forces them to try and avoid getting hit, instead of just tanking every attack because their armor negates damage no matter what. A common complaint about the Minecraft of today is that it's too easy to get overpowered, not even just in the late game, but in all the stages of your playthrough. Alpha does not give any player an easy way out, which heavily enforces the focus on survival and gives more depth to an incomplete build of the game. Once you're out of a cave and your health starts to get low, you might instinctively attack a cow or a chicken to get some food and heal up, but you'll be surprised when you find out that the pig is the only animal to give you any food. While this may seem annoying at first, considering basically every animal in modern Minecraft gives you food, once you get used to it, you'll find yourself more immersed in the survival experience than ever before. With only one specific animal to give you food, you can't really wing it anymore when exploring the environment or going caving, as you'll run out of food quickly and have to scramble to stay alive. Although it makes the game slightly harder, it turns every time you leave your home into an expedition, where you have to prepare your inventory and make sure you can return home safely, instead of helping you survive along every step of the way. After you return home from an expedition, full of armor, tools and resources, if you aren't the creative builder type, you'll be stuck wondering, what else is there to do? Despite putting a heavier emphasis on its survival and RPG elements, Alpha Minecraft has no progression beyond getting a full diamond set, which even in itself is grindy and unrewarding, because once you get the full set, you have no better enemies to fight or challenges to conquer. This may seem like a moot point because it's an in-development build, and the progression missing from the game has been expanded upon in future updates, but two key decisions made by the developer uphold its validity. First is the lack of use for the diamond set, which doesn't have any other uses apart from the tools mining blocks a little bit faster. Sure, the armor and swords give you an easier time dealing with the monsters, but when you're at the point in the game where you've had enough time to get full diamond, these enemies are of no threat to you because you've dealt with them since the start of your playthrough and have learned how they attack. If they implemented something like a stronger variant of an enemy, or maybe unique properties for diamond armor like preventing fall damage, it would give a much stronger reason to acquire these items, and help with not just the endgame, but the building and creative aspect as well. That's also the second key decision affecting Alpha Minecraft's progression, its focus on building and creativity. Now of course the building aspect of Minecraft is one of its core pillars, but when that becomes the only thing to do in survival, it can alienate a lot of the fanbase who would rather focus on progression than building a great big base. Normally this wouldn't be an issue because it would just change what demographic enjoys Minecraft to its fullest, but when the previously mentioned mechanics encourage a more survival type experience, getting to the end of things to do and being stuck building when you want to keep going makes for a striking change of pace. What Minecraft does better today is separate those two demographics, having a survival mode and a creative mode, where those who want to solely build can, and those who want to engage in a survival world also can, at the expense of almost no one. Another negative choice in Alpha Minecraft is the lack of tutorials. In its early days, Minecraft notoriously had zero tutorials or anything telling you what to do, which, although it did create a massive community of people coming together and sharing tips on how to play, isn't really a smart decision and hurts a new player's ability to enjoy the game. Of course they don't have to overly explain everything and can leave most things up to the player to figure out, but why not tell them how the inventory works, or how to craft something, or what the slots in the furnace mean? Just any of those three things would have made the game so much more accessible, and it's good to see that they have implemented actual tutorials since update 1.12. As much as those negatives can be a shock to modern Minecraft veterans, it's important to remember that only one person was working on Minecraft at this point, and even so the positives outweigh the negatives to an extensive degree. Just because this version has significantly less features and less things to do, doesn't mean it's completely invalid and still has so much worth exploring, whether you've been playing since 2009 or you're a complete newcomer to the game. Sure, the progression is limited, but that's when the game wants you to make your own fun, and doing so is very easy because of its sandbox nature. The amount of freedom you have in this alpha version is incredible, and it's clear to see that it is not just nostalgia, and the game is amazing regardless of how much it has been improved upon. So much of Minecraft's charm was established in these early builds, and it's deeply interesting to see the foundations of what would be. Minecraft in every stage of its life got people to fall in love with sandbox survival style games, and when you go back to its alpha versions, you'll see the roots of exactly why.